Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, the Nui channel. Today's video is going to be a review of the Netflix series Bon Appetit, Your Majesty, episodes 7 and 8. And I know I haven't posted in a while, and that's because I haven't watched any episodes in a while. I'm in a bit of a slump since my interview on Monday, and I feel like the interviewer was very harsh. They kept saying that although I pronounce my words well, I'm too soft spoken, so I had to read the script again and again and again, to the point where I was almost shouting the words at the interviewer, and my voice was cracking more than once from the effort. And if you say or they interrupt to tell you you didn't learn the script well enough, and they make you start again. I wanted to walk out because it really seemed like they were overdoing it. But eventually, they did take my mobile number down and they said they'll be contacting me within 5 days. And since they haven't already, that might not even happen. Anyways, it seems like a very hard job. It would be cold calling customers as a lead generator. And the only call center experience I have is customer service, and even that was on chat and email and not over the phone. I'm trying to keep my voice loud. Please comment and let me know if it's working. And that's my life currently. Let's move on to the title of this video, Bon Appetit, Your Majesty. So episode 7 starts with Yeon Jiang showing the rest of her kitchen a drawing of a pressure cooker. And this is getting even crazier than the time travel premise because is she an engineer now? Since they don't have this technology in just saying time, Jiang needs to teach them how to make this device and how to use it for the third dish in the competition as well. So what I learned so far, gochugaru is chili powder and gochujang is the chili paste. Jiang plans to use both as a secret weapon, a secret ingredients for the competition. And the Ming team, they've already seen the chilies when they had the chopping competition in the last episode. So Yan Jiang goes to the king and explains they need an inventor to build the pressure cooker. The king leaves the palace with Jiang and Gongil to find the guy. He's not supposed to even leave the palace at the moment because they have the envoy from the Ming dynasty. But obviously, nobody can tell him what to do, and he wants to go with Jiang. And the king is looking extra handsome in this episode, and I'm not sure what changed though, but I just thought we should point that out. And when they finally get to the engineer's house, he's reluctant to help until Yeon Jiang makes this Pajon dish for him, which is the title of episode 7. So I like how everything she makes seems to be the best dish ever, especially since it doesn't even look like she had anything around for seasoning this time. And I don't even want to try pronouncing the engineer's name, something like Jang Chan Sayang, although I'm probably butchering it. Anyways, while they're at his house, the prince sends assassins to take out Jiang. And the elderly Ming chef, he's kind of honorable though. And yes, so when he overhears this plan, he alerts the Joseon cooks and he asks them to pass on his message to the king that Jiang is going to be attacked. So the chief royal secretary rushes off to the engineer's house to rescue the king. And it's a bit confusing because now he's a good guy. Or maybe. I'm not sure if I got the characters confused, but I don't think so. He was a bad guy at first and he did report everything that was happening to Mokju, but then he didn't like Mokju. Okay, maybe it's all going to make sense at the end. So I did not expect the king to be good at sword fighting, but he is. He's actually able to hold off the assassins until the chief secretary gets there. But Yeonjiang did hurt her hand in the fight, and the king is bleeding from his shoulder. And also they had to run without the pressure cooker lid, but the engineer guy says he's going to bring it to the palace in time for the competition. And so back at the palace, at the 13th hour, the Ming envoy says the competition must start, even though the king and Jiang are not there yet. However, the elderly Ming chef saves her again and says he won't start until the 15th hour. And they just barely make it in time for that. and that's how episode 7 ends. So, episode 8 doesn't waste any time and they start preparing the meat dish. The Jusain side makes spicy short ribs, but the gochujang and gochugaru are missing, so they have to change the whole dish, and then they make rice wine beef bourguignon instead. And that's actually the name of episode 8. And this cooking competition is everything I was hoping for and more. When they started to flambe the meat, it felt like they should have played the music from Naruto or something. It was looking that intense. And unfortunately, the Joseon side had to present their dish first. And even though everyone praised the dish, I kind of suspected the Ming side will win this round. The Ming envoy tries to disqualify her by saying it's not a new dish, and then Jiang explains and almost brings the king to tears with her explanation. So basically, this dish is from the future, so it's not a dish that exists currently, and also it's a meal that mothers prepare for their children. But since Jiang's mother is dead, she never prepared this for her, so she's saying that this is a dish she'll never experience in the world. So the female chef from the Ming team was the one that used the chili powder in her dish. They call it gejong, and it's like kung pao chicken. So this female chef is the inventor of this dish, and I still don't like her though. But I do love the visuals. When they tried Yeonjiang's meal, the king and the envoy were in a flower garden with butterflies flying around them, and then when they tried the Ming dish, an electric guitar starts playing, and they're in the middle of a volcano. So, whilst I would like to try both dishes, my vote would go to the Joseon team because I don't know, I just like Jiang better. And just before they can announce the winner of the first round, the chefs try each other's dish, and Bailong is the old chef. He thinks to himself that the Joseon dish is perfectly balanced, and then when Yeonjiang tries the Ming dish, she tastes it for a specific purpose, and that's to confirm that the Layu red oil uses chili powder. And the chili powder is theirs. So it's like, imagine she asked the king for 5 days to prepare for this competition because she needed to dry the chilies and grind it, only for this Ming lady to steal their secret ingredient. But I am kind of torn because the Ming chef was creative in how she used it, and it's not like she stole their recipe. But then Bailong chews her out. Bailong is her uncle, by the way, and he's so disgraced by how she stole the ingredient that he concedes defeat for the first round. And this female chef that I'm talking about, her name is Ya Fei Shou. Ya Fei Shou. And so she's almost in tears herself because, yes, she knew this was going to be the Joseon side's secret weapon, but she didn't steal the chilies. She traded the prince, her peppers, for this. And maybe she didn't know that Yeonjeong was the only one that made this chilies ingredient. So Ya Fei Shou is a snitch, but in the best way. Like, I was very happy when she said in front of everyone that Prince Jesan was the one that gave her the ingredient. But then the prince pretends it was an innocent mistake, and the reason he got rid of it was because he didn't know it was important. And I don't think the king really believes him, but they let it go for now. Then Yeonjiang has opened her mouth. She says she should have been more careful and kept the ingredients safe since it was important. And I don't even know why she had to speak at this point. Some things she just needs to stay quiet about. But then the king announces that the first round is a tie, and he makes a new rule that if all 3 rounds end in a tie, then that means the Ming side wins. And then the second round begins the next day, and they need to make a dish of the other country's cuisine. The Joseon side makes a roasted Peking duck meal, and I don't have an opinion on this one since I haven't eaten duck before. The Ming team makes a golden lotus dish, which I also don't have any opinion on. And then Chef Meng from the Joseon team, he's supposed to cut the duck into even slices, but Mok Ju already gave him the instruction that the Joseon side needs to lose, so he purposely cuts himself to sidestep the order since he already trained Gilgam on how to cut. And this time the king and the envoy tried the Ming team's dish first, and it's hilarious. They envision themselves meditating at a lake, and then the envoy asks Bailong how he learned to cook this temple dish. Then Bailong explains he was in Korea about 10 years ago when he was searching the world looking for the ultimate dish. And at one point, he was in a Buddhist temple and he ate the perfect soup there and also this lotus dish. So the envoy is so arrogant before tasting the Joseon dish and says that the roasted duck is easy to prepare but hard to get right. Anyways, when they take a bite, they picture two Chinese women dancing with swords in the clouds. Now, I don't doubt that I'm not very culturally aware when it comes to Korea and China, so if this scene or any of the previous ones went over my head, I do apologize. In fact, Tuesday was the first time I ate sushi, but I was full before I even started eating, so I really want to go back and eat more to see if I actually like the dish. The soy sauce was great, but the wasabi was a regret in every bite, and it went straight to my nose in a painful way. So then back to the episode, they don't even announce who won this round. So I guess we need to watch the next episode to find out. Anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you made it this far, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe. Bye.